Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Baking with Brando. 2025 has officially come to a close, and we've managed to accomplish a lot more than I thought I could, but we're not done yet. We've got a strawberry champagne slice, and it starts with a sour cream gelato, so let's get to it. I've got some water and some 18% cream going in a pot here. I'm just trying to balance out that 18% to make it similar to milk. And then I've got a couple egg yolks that we're going to use to temper our sour cream into. So I'm just going to push that sour cream on top of them, some sugar, some vanilla, and we'll give it a little bit of a mix. In our pot, there's that 18% cream and our second half of sugar. We're just going to bring that to a simmer while we mix our initial ingredients here, and then we're going to temper our hot into our mixture. Now we got to return that mix back to the heat because we got to cook that up to 75 degrees Celsius. I believe that egg yolks are cooked at 64 degrees Celsius, so I like to push to 75 just to guarantee nobody's going to get sick. We're going to throw that cooled mix into the Froyo 5000 and get it spinning for about 15 to 17 minutes. That's roughly how long I think it takes. You know, it depends on the mixture and your fat content, but this one took about 17 minutes, I'd say. We're going to jump straight into our chocolate Sablee Breton here. So I didn't write on the recipe that I added the cocoa powder, but I took about 10% of my flour weight and I subbed that for cocoa powder. That's what's going to give you the chocolateness in this Breton base. So we'll start with the wet in this. It's got some egg yolk, some sugar, a little bit of orange zest, and we're going to pop that onto our mixer with a whisk attachment, and we're just going to start whipping it. You want to get it nice and frothy a little bit, kind of like almost ribbon stages is what they call it. You're going to find it hard to really tell here, but I got it nice and airy, and I would say that's about ribbons. So we're going to swap to our paddle now, because it's going to make it easier to incorporate our butter content. You could use the whisk, but you run the risk of just breaking it, so you might as well use the right tool for the right job. Plus, we're adding flour now, so that's going to add a lot of resistance to this, which is just something the whisk doesn't want to play ball with. But we've got all our dry content in, and we're just going to mix this till it's done. We're probably going to let it rest for a couple hours, I would say, at least. I want it to be something that I can roll out pretty soon. So we've let this dough rest in the fridge, which is great, because it's got a nice texture now. It's something I can actually cut up. That's a real short crust. So there we go. You can just see me. I'm mushing it together to make it a little more malleable. Just going to put it in the shape of a rectangle and try our best to roll it to the shape of the pan we're going for. So I got these tiny little quarter pans that are great for making small batch desserts, and that's what we're going to go into today. Looks good. Pop it in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes at 325. So movie magic, we're already done baking. We're going to pull this out of the oven and cross it off the list, and we'll get ready to move on to our main component here, which is strawberries. We're going to make a coulis, and that's going to be the base for a lot of our steps in this process. If you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I kind of do the same recipe base for all coulis, more or less, depending on how much fiber is in them, but it's about 20% sugar to 10% whatever berry or fruit that you're using in your base. And then I just like to add a little bit of wine for flavor and a little bit of salt and vanilla. Super easy, but it's got a lot of flavor and it's a super versatile ingredient. You can make damn near anything pastry-like out of this stuff. So the first thing that we're going to make with this coulis here is a compote, and I find that strawberries tend to turn to mush if you throw them in the pot with sugar, so I'm just going to chop these guys fresh separately, keep them nice and diced. Then I'm going to thicken a little bit of this strawberry coulis separately with some balsamic reduction, and I'm just going to get a nice little base for my compote by doing that. So our cornstarch slurry is going in now. You can see that it's starting to thicken up nice and fast, which is great. That's going to give me something to work with almost immediately. I did let it cool slightly because I didn't want my berries to sweat too much, but that looks nice and thick and just what we wanted. So we're moving on to the strawberry curd, and this is definitely the messiest part of the video, but we'll keep pushing. So it's got some strawberry coulis in the pot, I got some sugar, a little bit of gelatin and lemon zest, and I'm just gonna bring this up to a simmer, just like all the other things that we've been tempering. I've got my egg yolks separate with more sugar. We're gonna give them a little bit of a whiskey whisk. And then now that we've got this up to a nice temperature, we're just gonna temper it into our egg yolks. Easy peasy. We'll put it back into the pot, return it to the heat, add some butter, and get ready to start stirring, because we wanna bring this up to a boil now to make sure that it fully sets. Now, in real time, this is gonna take probably 5 minutes or so, but I had it happen almost instantly because I have a camera, and that's how it works. Now we've added the rest of our butter content, and we're just going to mix it till it's fully emulsified. We want to make sure that it's all combined before we start pouring this on top of our chocolate crust. That would be annoying to see little butter streaks. This is also where it started getting really messy for me because I have a tiny strainer. I wish I had a bigger one, but it is what it is. Cross that off and we'll get the most expensive bottle of champagne, and now it's the cheapest. What happened? I don't understand. But we'll move on to the champagne buttercream anyways. I don't know about you fancy people, but I don't drink a lot of champagne, so when I took this off, I didn't expect it to blow up on me. but it did, and I screamed, and it is what it is. Now, going through all these clips, I'm realizing I'm doing a lot of the same technique over and over, and I'm just tempering product into egg and then cooking. A lot of pastry is like that, and we call it different things, and it's damn near the same technique. You just add different ingredients and call it something else. It's a beautiful world we live in. But anyways, here I am. I'm tempering my champagne mix into my yolks. We're just gonna cook this up, and you see it gets really thick. And that's because I had a lot of cornstarch. I think for this tiny little bit, there was about 25 grams, so that's quite a bit. And it's gonna work for us because we want it to be thick. I'm about to push a bunch of butter into here. If I put it in and it was too loose, it might split on me because I'd have too much water versus oil content. So at least like this, we can keep a nice pipeable consistency. So now our buttercream is done and we're ready to move on to our last step, and I think that's chocolate work. I like to hold off till the end to do that because it's kind of its own thing, truly. It's just a whole process. You gotta set up, break down. Here I am. I'm just tabling some chocolate because I need to temper it. So it's just bringing down its temperature. I could explain like the gist of chocolate tempering here, but it might be better, again, just to do a little video about it if anyone's truly interested. It's pretty easy though, honestly. I think it gets a bad rep. Everybody talks about it being super difficult, and it's just not, man. It's chocolate. Figure it out. So anyways, I made some chocolate shells because I want to make that a component on the dish, and I'm just going to set out some chocolate here because I want to make some cigarettes. I think they'll look pretty too, and they'll help give us some height to the dessert, which is something that's kind of nice to see. Personally, I like tall desserts. I don't know about you. So these shells have set for a few hours. I'm going to pop them out. Hopefully they'll all come at once, and they didn't because that's cinema for you. But they did end up eventually coming out, so at least I have product to use. And I didn't have a great way to get my cakes dipped in chocolate, so this is what I came up with. I kind of just put some and then painted it, more or less. I didn't have a better technique, and I didn't want to freeze the dessert, so this is what we came up with. But anyways, we're in the back end here. We're just finishing up. So there's the pipe on top. There's that shell. I'm just filling it with some of the compote. This was the plan the whole time. I wanted something on the plate to imply a chocolate-covered strawberry without just blatantly putting one on there. So we're starting with our strawberry coulis, and we'll follow up with a balsamic reduction. I find balsamic goes really well with strawberries, even in a sweet composition. I'm gonna pop some strawberry on there. We'll get our chocolate cigarette, because again, that gives us the height that I'm kind of looking for. Get some mint, because I find the red and the green, and mint goes well with strawberry too. We'll add some compote to the plate, because that's going to give us another texture, just some variations going on. And we'll put a fresh fruit. Why not? Strawberry. Gotta show where it all came from, right? And there's that sour cream ice cream. A little last pop of mint, and I think I'm missing one. There it is, strawberry, and completo. That's the dessert, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. It looks pretty. It's not what I was expecting, but it is very tasty. I wish I could share. You'll just have to imagine through the screen, and then maybe one day when I open my shop, I will share these desserts with all of you. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.